Hello there, my name is Wafflestheasianyenbear and welcome back to a Pokemon Sun and Moon Showdown battle in the RU tier. Once again, we will be using our Scrafty team for the last time this week. I'm waving bye, but I don't know why I'm waving when you guys can't see me. Anyways, if you guys missed how we built this team and what's actually on the team, you can go ahead and check the Meet the Squad video we did on Monday down in the description below or at the end of this video. That being said, we are facing Tiny Sivash, that's how I choose to pronounce that one today, who has brought a Bouffalant, a Slowbro, which I honestly had no idea Slowbro was even in this tier, a very interesting Tropius, which is actually the reason why I wanted to make this video, because that Tropius set was amazing, a Pangoro, a Moltres, and a Armaldo. So, looking at this team, I see he's got the Moltres, he's got the Tropius, he's a little bit weak to Hazard. So I'm thinking I'm going to want to set those up if possible, so I'm going to try to lead with Donphan. His really only way of removing it is going to be the Rapid Spin on the Armaldo. So, I know I can pretty easily switch into my Doublade to kind of block the spin if I need to. That being said though, I'm going to lead with Trunks. Tiny Sivash is actually going to lead with the Moltres, and you know what happens when we end up like this. Whether it's Charizard or a Moltres, if it's a fire flying thing, I'm going to click Stone Edge, and I'm going to hope that this does not crit burn me, which it does not, thankfully, and I actually hit the Stone Edge and kill the Moltres, which is great. And I still do want to set up Stealth Rocks if possible, but the Bouffalant, I believe, is going to come in here and force me out, if I am correct. Yes. So this thing's here, it's pretty strong. I could go to Doublade, but I check its moves and I see it has Earthquake. So I'm like, well, I can't really wall it with the Doublade. He'll probably go for that just because it's safe. So it's might as well just let the Donphan die, not have rocks up and just have to deal with that. And you know what? Moltres is gone, so it's okay. But I bring in the Scrafty to lower this thing's attack. I figured that it's probably going to switch out to the Slowbro, which it actually doesn't. It stays in. Even though I could have gone for the Drain Punch. I guess maybe it might not have killed. I don't know. Maybe Bouffalant's pretty strong. It looks like it's pretty bulky Buffalo. But, you know, I don't know its stats. So, I went for the knockoff, trying to predict the Slowbro. He stayed in, so I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll click Drain Punch now. And this is when he switches to Slowbro. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I should stay in, try to knock off this thing. But then I see its Rocky Helmet, so I'm like, I'll just go ahead, I'll deal with that at a later date, and I switch right into, I believe, Electros? This is actually my first time going through and trying to record this whole thing. No, Roserade, risking the Psyshock. Okay. Good job, my dude. Good job. But, I go to the Roserade, take 9% from a Skull, do not get burned, thankfully, but I do have the Natural Cure, so it wouldn't have been too big of a deal. And I figured here that he is going to switch into Bouffalant because Giga Drain is so obvious and Bouffalant has Sap Sipper. That is a little known fact, guys. Bouffalant has Sap Sipper. So I'm like, I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. I'm going to predict it. He's not going to stay in. I don't think he'll go for the Psyshock play since he didn't before. Especially seeing how little the Skull did. So he brings in the Bouffalant, does 41%, and I know I outspeed it, so I go ahead and I go for that 7% and kill it. Especially because I knew I outsped it because Scrafty outsped it. And so Roserade being 1 point faster than Scrafty could kill. But Tiny Sivash brings in the Pangoro and I'm like, ha ha ha, you have no idea I have Dazzling Gleam, do you? And I just go for it and Papa Waffles just dies. I'm sorry, Pangoro. I know Pancham is my mascot, but that was so satisfying. It was so satisfying. So, Tropius comes in here and I'm like, okay, it's probably the Leech Seed sub, Harvest set, whatever, it's fine. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go into Forgot My Belt, I'm going to lower its attack by 1, try to knock off whatever it has, and see what goes on. But it actually goes for Dragon Dance, so I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. That's fine, I'll sack off Scrafty, because as soon as I bring in Cloyster, Ice Shard will kill. I just need to make sure this thing does not have a substitute. So, I go ahead, I go for the Poison Jab, it's super effective, I know it's going to be doing more than my knockoff would, and I don't want to knock off the berry just to give it back. I figured if it's the Citrus Berry, you know, it'll happen. But I go for the Poison Jab here, I think. Yes, I still am going for the Poison Jab because I want to make sure that this thing does not have a sub because when Cloyster comes in, Ice Shard will kill. As long as it's at, like, I think 50% or more. I don't know the count, but I know Ice Shard will do a lot. But he goes for Lychee Berry Dragon Dance, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. What? This thing isn't like sub, citrus, nothing like that. It's Dragon Dance Lychee Berry. So this thing is now at +2 speed, 2.5 attack, freaking insane. I think that's +3 if I'm correct there, but I go ahead, he leeches, gets another boost, so now he's at I think +4. Either way, it doesn't really matter because this thing doesn't have priority, but it was just insane. I saw that and I was like, that is such a cool set. I have Cloister, so it doesn't matter, but it's so cool. And I just gotta applaud this man. I'm gonna applaud right in front of the mic. There you guys go. That is my applause for today. Just for how freaking creative that was. I have never seen that before, and I'm so impressed by it. But like I said, I know Asuna can come in on Armaldo pretty much every time. Earthquake is not gonna be doing terribly too much to me. Knockoff does 30%, as you guys see, and so I'm like, all right, I'll come in with this. I go for my sword stance just to kind of see what he'll do. I figured he'd probably go to the Slowbro, which he does now when I go for Sacred Sword, because I figured the Armaldo would stay in after, you know, the first time when I went for Sword Stance, I thought he'd switch out the Slowbro. Since he stayed in, I figured he would be trying to go for the Earthquake after going for the knockoff, so I go for the Sacred Sword as he brings in the Slowbro, which was very smart on Tiny Stevash's part. He definitely played around me there. But I go for the Shadow Sneak. I'm ready to let Asuna die, because ultimately, I'm thinking that either Cloister or Roserade is probably going to be my win condition. He goes for Slack Off on my Shadow Sneak, so he gets all of his HP back, and I'm like, oh, well, shoot, I guess Doublade really didn't do anything there. That's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go into Mr. Spikes. You know, if Mr. Spikes can clean up, that would be great. I know the Rock Blast should still be doing a decent amount to the Armaldo, even though it's, like, neutral. He goes for Toxic, which I think was definitely a mistake on his part, and it misses, which is fantastic. So, Mr. Spikes goes for another one, and he goes for Scald. And I'm like, okay. Alright, I don't get burned. Maybe I should have just gone for 2 Rock Blasts. Honestly, I think I should have. Instead of going for the Shell Smash. I thought Rock Blast after 2 Shell Smash would kill. Unfortunately, it didn't. So, Mr. Spikes dies. The crit obviously doesn't matter there. But, I figured maybe +2 would be better than +1. Because then I can for sure kill the Armaldo. But now I'm at the point where I know I outspeed this thing. Giga Drain's gonna hit this and the Armaldo. I crit, doesn't really matter. We know Slowbro would have died at that point. Armaldo is gonna come in and it could have like X-Scissor or something, but I still have Electros in the back with full health. So I go for the Giga Drain, 52%, boom. Armaldo's weakened. This thing goes for Rock Blast instead of like any sort of bug move. And I'm like, there's no way. As soon as it started happening, I'm like, there's no way that he's getting 5 hits. And what do you know? He got 5 hits. I didn't die, so I guess it doesn't matter, but it's just the principle. He doesn't have Skill Link. I don't know. But I go for the Giga Drain, I get a low roll, and does he go for the Rock Blast again? No, the knockoff, and it kills me. I don't know if the crit mattered there. I don't think it did. Roserade is in a very strong Pokemon. It's not very sturdy. But Armaldo's got down to 12%. I know that he's not going to be able to OHKO the Electros, so it's still fine. But, like, 5 Rock Blasts without skilling, that is insane. And Giga Drain getting, I think, a low roll, or it's either that I got a high roll the first time, one of the two. But I go ahead, I finish him off with Unagi-san, and just, that was ridiculous and amazing. The Tropius set is just, oh, so cool. I really want to go ahead, I want to try to build a team around it at some point, maybe when I have some more free time, or hopefully we'll get it in a randomizer at some point. But, that being said, hopefully you guys enjoy this. I do not know what Pokemon we're going to be building around Monday yet, I haven't recorded that video, but I think I'll probably record the first part now. That being said though, I think I said that twice. I think I did. I don't know. But, I hope you have a good day, good week, good life, and goodbye. That was what I was trying to say. Okay, bye.